In this video we will be showcasing all the different forms of Rodan that have appeared in the big screen since 1956 onwards till the most recent MonsterVerse Titanis Rodan, as well as a bit upon the upcoming singular point Rodan which will be seen in 2021. Rodan has always been a fan favorite since it appeared alongside Godzilla in 1964, and this flying kaiju is made to look as a giant pterosaur, which is not to be confused with a dinosaur as they are both distinct classes of ancient reptiles. In 2014, IGN ranked Rodan as number 6 on their top 10 Japanese movie monsters, while Complex listed the character as number 15 on its top 15 most badass kaiju monsters of all time list. So let's see all these different Rodan designs and forms, starting with number 1, Titanis Rodan. The first one on the list that we will be showcasing is the MonsterVerse Fire Demon, or scientifically dubbed as Titanis Rodan. In this movie, it was a hibernating titan that had been sleeping for a very long time under a dormant volcano in Isla de Mara in Mexico. In this incarnation, it was a destructive force of nature that had the biggest wingspan of any Rodan till date. It could sweep away buildings if it flew low enough, and it was composed of lava inside its body. This form of Rodan was fiery looking and looked like a pterosaur but with more raptor-like beak. A Rodan here was 154 feet tall and with a wingspan of 871 feet across. It possessed a texture similar to molten rock with bumps and ridges along its body. His wings were like a bat and his legs had hooked claws. Number 2, Rodan, 1956. The original Rodan came out in 1956 with a movie of the same name. This design is the only portrayal of Rodan to be mahogany in color. This Rodan design appears to have no pupils in the eyes. However, in a few sculpted dioramas and maquettes, it had been shown to bear pupils. This original design is also known as Shodai-Redo, which means first generation. It featured a large but slim body, enormous wings, and a large jagged head. This Rodan's face was different from any of the later suits, as it had a menacing, angry expression on its face. Also, its beak was broader, more jagged, and actually bared teeth inside its mouth. On top of its head, the suit had jagged horns. This Rodan was 164 feet tall and had a 394 feet wingspan. Number 3, Rodan from 1964 to 65. This form of Rodan made its first debut appearance in Godzilla's movies in 1964 in the film Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. The Sandai Kaiju Redo form looks very similar to its predecessor Shodai-Redo, but with significant differences. Alterations from Rodan's previous traits include more rounded wings with show claws, a longer neck, a smaller and thinner beak, and large expressive eyes in contrast to the pitch black eyes of Shodai-Redo. This form is of the same size and also called as Daisen-So-Redo in an invasion of Astro-Monster. It was the Rodan form used in 2 movies, which are 1964 and 1965, and also in both of these movies it appeared both as a rival and an ally of Godzilla. Rodan 1968. The So Shingeki Redo is the Rodan design used in 1968 in the movie Destroy All Monsters. The So Shingeki Redo's name comes from the film's Japanese title, specifically So Shingeki meaning Attack of the Marching Monsters, and Redo, which is Rodan's Japanese name, Radon. Though similar in appearance to its predecessors, Shodai-Redo and Sandai Kaiju Redo, but this design, the So Shingeki Redo form, has slightly longer horns. The wings appear to be longer and more Pteranodon-like, and the beak is longer and pointed downwards. The size of this form is also the same as the others, and in this one, the face of this particular Rodan also appears to have a droopy-like look into it, which makes it look less menacing and more goofy. Rodan 1993. Appearing in the 1993 movie Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla in this form, like the Showa Rodan, it resembles a gigantic pterosaur that stands upright on 2 legs. However, while technically 20 meters taller than the Showa incarnations, the Heisei Rodan is considerably smaller than the Godzilla he appeared alongside with. Rodan's wings also appear somewhat larger in proportion to the rest of his body. His wings have visible blood vessels running through them. Rodan possesses 3 spikes on the back of his head instead of 2, and to date, it is the only incarnation of the character with this trait. In addition, he also has a row of pointed spikes running down the length of its back, as well as a pointed tail, and Rodan's skin here is initially brown in color. Fire Rodan. Seen in the same movie, only in the later scenes, this Fire Rodan was the main inspiration for MonsterVerse Titanis Rodan, the Fire Demon. It was a more powerful form of the same normal Rodan and Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 1993. It came to be after Godzilla sent the normal Rodan down to the dumps with 2 point-blank atomic breath attacks, which so happens to be absorbed by Rodan's cells and therefore transforming him into a fire form which is stronger and develops the ability to emit a purple-colored radioactive heat beam from his mouth called the uranium heat beam. This Rodan, as well as his normal form, is 230 feet tall with a 394 feet wingspan, and it is in this form that it sacrifices itself to save Godzilla from death. Number 7. Final Wars Rodan. Also known as Millennium Rodan, it is seen as a giant Pteranodon kaiju who appeared in the 2004 Godzilla film Godzilla Final Wars as a mind-controlled pawn of the Zillion aliens. And the Millennium Rodan is made to closely resemble the 1956 original design, with large wings, spiky armored plates on its chest, a long neck, 2 horns on the back of its head. Unique aspects of this Rodan's design include its orange-colored skin, an especially long neck and legs, upward slanted horns, and green eyes. This Rodan's body is considerably slimmer, and his armored chest plating is yellow in color and extends down to his legs. Rodan has pronounced fingers on his wings in this design, and this design is extremely tall at 328 feet with a wingspan of 656 feet across. Number 8. Singular Point Rodan. This form of Rodan will appear in the upcoming movie Godzilla Singular Point. This incarnation of Rodan retains the character's core design traits as being a giant pterosaur with 2 crests on its head and spikes on its chest. However, this Rodan much more closely resembles a real Pteranodon in terms of his bodily proportions. Although seen in only the official trailer, this Rodan is shaking it up with controversies ahead. Firstly, for its red trail gas that appears behind it when it flew past the city. Secondly, when it is seen in a big flock, which means it might actually be a species, a whole species that still exists. And lastly, when it appears in a wholly different form, with some Reddit users terming it as the Fire Rodan form. However, this Rodan's size is unknown, but it's hardly to be more than the size of a house. And with this, we come to the end of this list of the 9 forms and designs of Rodan. We hope you liked it, and we will be doing more videos like these for the other kaiju like Mothra and all. So do hit that like and subscribe button to support us, and also do share it with your kaiju friends. But most of all, do not forget to smash that notification bell for regular updates on new and upcoming videos.